Hello and welcome everybody, it's Rose Smith here from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thanks for joining me today. I'm here with this week's Pick a Card Weekly Tarot reading. It's very simple, just pick a number now between 1 and 5 and I'll do a psychic tarot interpretation for you. Okay, let's go to the board and see what the cards have to say. Have you got your number? I've got mine. Let's rock and roll. We're doing card number 1. Card number 1. Okay, so walking along, there's a sort of wall next to me on the left. And it's sort of, I'm coming up to the end of the wall and it just gently sweeps around to the left-hand side. So this indicates that this week you're probably going to get more in touch with your feminine side. It's a time for being creative. It's a time for just being and chilling and seeing what, creative ideas come into your mind. It's not so much the time for action this week, just for considering your position and going deep within. Let's have a look and see what card we get. Okay, it's the 7 of Swords, moving away from a difficult situation which might have been quite emotional in the past. And yes, it is all about considering your position. You'll see she's got an armful, a bunch of swords here. These are about decisions and using the right side of her brain, the analytical side, but in the little vision I had, it was almost the opposite, because it's like get in touch with your feminine side. So it's saying to me, don't overthink the situation, because especially in the West, we can get caught up in that monkey mind, with the mind going round and round in circles. Put a few swords into the ground. That means put some of your ideas into action. She's done too, but she's got a bunch of ideas up here. So maybe this week just consider what you're going to do, and then action. You can take action down the track. There might be some travel here, but it's more likely that these tents actually relate to chakras that are opening up, so more energy coming through to you. All right, so it used to be in the old days called the Thief in the Night card, and they'd make very deterministic type predictions, like somebody's going to steal from you, but I don't see it that way because of the bright yellow pants here. That's all about being more successful. So it may have been true in the past that somebody stole your self-esteem, your self-respect, your time, your energy, or any number of things, but that is certainly not true for the future. Okay, let's have a look and see what we get for number 2. Number 2, I'm in the ocean. Oh yes, it's a lovely time for relaxing this week. If you've picked card number 2, maybe go to the beach. If you've got a beach you can go to, not everybody does. And get in touch with water somehow. If you're inland, maybe you can go to a lake or a river. But the ocean would be ideal. It's like the subconscious. It's actually the archetypical symbol of the subconscious. All right, card number 2. Let's see what we get. The card that comes up is the 2 of Swords. Amazing. This came up this morning in Facebook. Same card. Again, coming to the idea that a decision has to be made. And that's what these swords are. Cutting down... cutting out extraneous factors and getting to the core or the crux of the issue. The issue also here is that these 2 shadows in the background, if you like, represent the past, and any decision that we make based on our experience and our history. So just bear in mind that we all have emotional baggage from the past. We're going to make a decision. There's going to be some baggage in that decision, but don't let it overly influence you. Okay, so that's card number 2. All right, so now we're doing card number 3. Card number 3. If you need a reading, go to AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com, by the way. If you're not sure about phone psychics, because I know in the US they don't have very tight laws, or they didn't have very tight laws, not like Australia, where we have tight laws. And there was a whole lot of shonkiness that went on years ago. So phone psychics in the US tend to have a really bad reputation, but not in Australia so much, because they'll shut you down if you don't do the right thing here. So yeah, don't be afraid that it's on the phone, but if you don't like the idea, you can always get an email reading. It's in writing, then you got it in writing. All right, card number 3. Now closing my eyes, what do I see? You can't put lipstick on a pig. A pig is a pig. Well, I mean, you could put lipstick on, but it's still a pig, isn't it? So it's like, don't try to dress up an idea or think favourably about a person. They are what they are. It's better to be realistic, and that's a pretty negative, old-fashioned saying. It's like putting lipstick on a pig means you're trying to dress up something that's not very wholesome and make it look better. So it's a little bit of delusion there going on. So maybe if you pick card number 3, and that was my card that I picked as well, it applies to me. You don't have to look at the rose-coloured, look through rose-coloured glasses at the situation and try and think favourably of that person. They are what they are, just be realistic about it. The card that comes up is the Ace of Pentacles, which is fabulous for starting new beginnings, especially with your money. Maybe it's time to move away from a situation where a person or a situation or a thing or an event wasn't very wholesome for you, okay? And it's better to move on your own, come up with new ideas. You'll end up making more money anyway, or you'll save money somehow. Yes, there might be confusion in the background and you might not be sure of what you're doing, but you'll go through some sort of initiation portal or process and come out the other side, and there's blue sky there. And then you'll be thinking clearly, and you'll know exactly what has to be done. So the situation is what it is. You have to do the best you can. Try not to worry too much, because it's going to come out with blue sky thinking on the other side. Okay, it's ultimately good news, even if you feel confused or unsure at the moment. I know what that is. Okay, number 4. What do I see? Okay, I see a sword being plunged into the ground. There's also some sort of energy about a cross, a cross is to do with sacrifice. So you want to put an idea into action, but there's some sort of sacrifice associated with it. It might be a lot of work, it might take a lot of energy, a lot of your time, it might even take some of your money. However, I do see the idea becoming physical. It will be made manifest, which reminds me, I did a video last week about manifestation, put a Frankenstein thumbnail on it, so it didn't do very well because people thought it was too negative. But the reason I did that was because we make Franken monsters in our minds and the things we try to manifest. So I think of that now because this is going to be manifest, this idea. So I'm actually hoping to get a video up today about manifestation. It'll be a meditation to manifest your heart's desires. So do keep a lookout for that. All right, number 4. Okay, so 5 of Pentacles, usually about your money or possessions, feeling a bit disappointed or even possibly frustrated that there's not enough money coming in perhaps, or you're short on money this week. So do be careful not to overspend because you could get caught short. The other thing is to look at, depends on how you look at it, because look at these panes of glass in the background here, they're all different colours. So you can reframe this situation into a more positive situation, into a more positive light. So yeah, you might be short on funds this week, but there's a way out of this, there's a way forward. And maybe look at the situation as to why you're short. What is the pattern of energy going on here? So once you discover that pattern, you'll be able to nip it in the bud before it gets really bad, type of thing. And it'll be to your advantage financially. Sometimes it's possessions. You might want to buy something and you're short on cash and then you have to wait, or something like that. But there are all these other opportunities that are coming, so don't be too concerned. This is a 5, and so it's likely to be sort of a temporary situation, whatever it is this week. It's going to change. It's not going to stay what it is. It's going to change into something else. And so maybe you can, find a way to see the upside or find a silver lining there somehow. Okay, you might get some brilliant ideas about what you have to do in order to improve your financial situation. Number 5 is alive. Let me see, what do I see here? Okay, a wristband. It's something about timing. You might have some brilliant ideas, but it's not quite the right time yet. It doesn't mean throw them out or they're no good. It just means it's not the right time. You might be ahead of your time. I'm a shocker for that. So many times I've done stuff too early. There's an optimal time for everything. Let's have a look and see what card we get. Oh, I want to pick 2. Okay. All right, the Sun, which is fabulous, and the Star. Wow, this is fantastic. I don't think this has ever come up before, these two together. The Sun and the Star. Send your thoughts and emotions out into the universe, your desires. Out they all go so that you can manifest them. The Sun brings you brilliance, warmth, stability, comfort, happiness, contentment. So many good things around this week for you if you pick card number 5. She's wearing a sort of jade green here. The desires of the heart are actually expressed, probably vocally, but maybe you write them down. She's seated here on the shore, and the ocean. One leg in the ocean, the other leg on the shore. Which means grounded in practical reality, but very much in touch with her subconscious. It's a fabulous combo, actually. It's probably, if you had to pick what combinations, this is probably the best combo you could get in the tarot. So sometimes this is like a young girl. It could be like your daughter, teenager, or young 20s, and this young girl or woman has her whole life ahead of her, so much potential to do whatever she wants to make herself happy. That can be you too. All right, so I was thinking as I was going, we haven't got any major arcana, but here they are, the 2 majors at the end, okay, which is very significant if you've picked card number 5. More or less a normal sort of week if you've picked cards number 1 to 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And some new beginnings, some thinking and decisions, moving away from the past and reflecting on your finances and what you can do to improve your finances if you pick card number 5. Well, that's it, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful week. Subscribe and be alive, and don't forget to leave a like and a comment. That would be fabulous. Share it on your socials. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.